Yo, what's up, y'all? We are live and direct right here on Live Wire Radio. I'm your host, Barz Nice the General, on this rainy, cloudy Saturday. But nonetheless, we here in the place to be, you know what I'm saying, in the building like a chill wind with my man B Mumphrey in the back, you know what I'm saying, Live Wire team in full effect. Shout out to everybody out there on this cloudy, rainy Saturday, man. You know, as we mourn the death or the loss, I should say, of a hip hop staple. Rest in peace, Rob Bass. You know, the other half of Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. You know, whom I'm going to talk about today. You know, just to pay some respects and some homage. You know, like we always do on Barz Block. If you're listening in and you want to check us out on the social media side, at live.wire804, that's the Facebook. Then you have live at live.wire804, that's the IG. And then you have LWR80401, that's the YouTube. The phone lines will be open today if you just want to chop it up. 804-495-1417. Call in, chop it up. We can talk, you know, some hip hop. But like always, my disclaimer is don't call with no stupid stuff. You will get cursed out and hung up on. You know what I mean? So, you know, no ignorant stuff, please. But yeah, you know, we're about to get into some of my music that I produced, or excuse me, that I made with Bully Boy, produced by Bully Boy, featuring myself, Noah O, Tone Red, and the legendary Big Sty, all Richmond's own, ladies and gentlemen, right here on Barz Block on Live Wire Radio. I'm your host, Barz Nice. What's up, y'all? Y'all tuning in on the social media side. Man, you know, call in, man. Like I said, 804-495-1417. Just to, you know, if you want to talk about, you know, what was your experience like? That was 1988. So for me, I was just graduating from high school. So that was the song of the summer for us. You know what I mean? We were celebrating. You know what I mean? That was the song, man. That'll make a girl put a coochie on you. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, people would lose it when that song would come on, It Takes Two, you know. It was just a dope song. And the thing about the song, you know, you didn't really know, it kind of crossed over in a sense, like, it wasn't hip hop, but it wasn't pop either, but it was like pop. So it was like, you know, everybody just loved It Takes Two. It was just a dance song, you know. Like, I know, like, I think it was, let me see, I got it written down right here. I don't even want to say it wrong, you know what I mean? It was like number 3 on the U.S. Dance. So U.S. Dance, it was number 3, and number 4 on the top R&B hip hop albums, and number 31 in the Billboard 200. That was It Takes Two, and it came out on Profile. That was on Profile. So this was in '88. This album, I mean, it had a couple of joints on it. Get on the Dance Floor, Join Pain, but Get on the Dance Floor was like number 1 from what I see. You know what I mean? And we about to get back to the radio side. Yo, what's up? It's your man Barz Nice the General. I'm your host on Barz Block, and we just spun the block with Barz Nice and Friends. That was myself featuring Tone Red, Noah O and the legendary Big Sty, all Richmond's own right here, ladies and gentlemen. I was just, chopping it up with, behind the scenes on the social media platforms, and we're just discussing, the impact that Robert Ginyard from Harlem, New York, and it was his partner, DJ Easy Rock, his name Rodney Bryce, and they were famous for their #1 hit single. It Takes Two, 1988, released on Profile Records, and it was like #3 on the U.S. Dance, #4 on the top R&B, hip hop and albums, #31 on the Billboard 200. I mean, it was just this song. 1988 was for me, I graduated that year, so it was the song of the summer. Everybody was, It Takes Two was one of them songs that it changed the trajectory of a party. You know what I mean? Like, people were losing when that song would come on. And it crossed over. To me, like, most people, no matter what you was, white, black, they would dance to that song when it came on. Like, it was like, it kind of hip-hop-ish, pop-ish. It was just a dope song. Then they had another joint, Get on the Dance Floor. That was a dope joint. And it was, Get on the Dance Floor, U.S. Dance premiered at #1 on the U.S. Dance. It premiered #1. #6 on the hot rap chart, and #14 in the UK. #11 hot R&B hip hop songs chart. And this was Get on the Dance Floor was off the first album, which was It Takes Two, as well as Joy and Pain, which was #9, right, on the U.S. Dance, and #58 Billboard Hot 100, #5 U.S. Hot R&B songs, #11 on the hot R&B hip hop songs, and it was like 14, like I said, in the UK. So, it's safe to say, man, that rest in peace, Rob Bass and Easy Rock, DJ Easy Rock, excuse me. They were a staple, man, in hip hop, man. I mean, they gave us one of the most influential dance songs. I mean, like I said, that song, man, It Takes Two. I mean, when you heard the intro of the song, right? You could see the energy in the party. Everybody would just change. Everybody would just lose it for, however many minutes the song was long. You know what I mean? I think 3, 4, 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? Girls, they put their coochie on you. I mean, no, but really, no. It was a dope. It was a dope dance song, man. Like, a lot of dope dance choreographed routines was done to that song. I mean, you hear it in commercials, on TV, you know what I mean? So it's just one of them songs, man, that it had a great impact, on the music alone. Like I said, if you're listening on the radio and you want to check out us on the social media platform side of things, you can check us out at live.wire804. That's the Facebook, at live.wire. That's Instagram. And then you got LWR80401. That's our YouTube. You can check us out there. If you just so happen to catch us on the live 365.com on Live Wire Radio on the network. Like I said, you can go back and watch us on the social media platforms. Shout out to Mike J from Barz and B Society. Shout out to everybody, man, that's just doing their thing. Shout out to my man Spade Haynes, you know what I mean? Shout out to B.I. Self, you know what I mean? My man B.I. Self from Far Rockaway. You know what I'm saying? I'll be playing some of his music today, later on today, during the show. But yeah, man, we got a dope show lineup for you, man. Got some indie artists in the lineup, man. Of course, I got some of my favorite people in the lineup, man. You know what I mean? Right here from Richmond, man. So, it's just dope, man, to be here with y'all, man, and talking to y'all, man. But I hope everybody's having a dope day, man, a dope afternoon. I know it's rainy and cold, but we still gonna make the best of it. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get into this next joint, right? This is by Far Rockaway. This is from Far Rockaway. This is by my man B.I. Self. B.I. Self is from Far Rockaway, and this is produced by Rhythm Shack Spade. My man, Spade Haynes, what up, man? Shout out to everybody, man. But like I said, this is Food Stamp Budget by B.I. Self, produced by Spade Haynes on Live Wire Radio. I actually listened to y'all need to check it out, man. Lord Grants. You can check it out, the CD. It's on all social media platforms right now, streaming. Lord Grants. This is B.I. Self, right? And it's produced by Rhythm Shack, Spade Haynes, my man Spade. What up, Grandmaster Spade? You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to my man Big Sty and everybody. All about bars, you know what I'm saying? And just everybody, man, that's doing what they're doing. Shout out to Bully Boy. Hope you're enjoying yourself, man, with your family. Shout out to Tamika, Leslie. You know what I mean? We out here chilling. My man B Mumphrey in the background, you know what I'm saying, on the boards. Live wire in full effect. But yeah, man, we just sitting here talking about, you know, Rob Bass and his impact that he had, you know, as far as the dance scene. Like I said, it was incredible. And on their first album, 1988, It Takes Two, they had like 3 songs. I mean, that was just, you know, Joy and Pain. You know, that Joy and Pain, and it was dope because the songs on the album actually, like, he kind of had a little something for everybody. You know, Joy and Pain, you know, my mother, and I remember they loved, you know, Joy and Pain was like, you know, I had, like, my mom, she like MC Hammer, you know, like, you know, groups like that, you know, so like, you know, it's just dope, man, that time in hip hop, man, where, you know, that was the beautiful thing about hip hop is the fact that it was just such a balance, man. You had something for everybody. You had people that was, you know, like to just party, have fun. You had the people that would, you know, they like to wig out on the gangster rap or whatever, man, you know. Just depending on your environment, man. You know, music is the nuts and bolts of society. It makes you human again. It makes you feel again. You know, it makes you laugh. It makes you cry. It makes you, you know, just, it gives you the personified reality. People talk about what's going on. Nina Simone, she says the duty of every artist, right, to talk about what's going on around them. It's your duty, you know. So, you know, we got to get back to that, man. You know, we kind of lost that, you know, somewhere along the line. You know, we about to see y'all back on the radio side, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, what's up? It's your man, Barz, Nice to General. I'm your host, Barz, Nice to General. Back, and we spun the block, and that was Food Stamp Budget by B.I. Self, produced by Spade Haynes, right here on Live Wire Radio. We were just chopping it up on the platform side. We was talking about just how hip-hop was so balanced back in the day, and records like It Takes Two, Rob Bass, how, you know, it was one of those records that, you know, like I said, it was on the dance, US dance, it was number 3, number 4 on the top R&B hip hop albums. Number 31, it was number 31 on the Billboard 200. You know, this was 1988, and Joy and Pain was also off that It Takes Two. Joy and Pain Profile Records release as well, number 9 on the US Dance, and number 58 on the Billboard Hot 100. Number 5 on the US Hot Rap Songs, number 11 Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs, and number 14 in the UK. And then get on the dance floor, like I said, it's crazy because it premiered at number 1, you know, on the US Dance. So, you know, it outdid It Takes Two. So on this album, man, he had a little bit of something for everybody, man. And, you know, like, he kind of like, you know, you got to give it to DJ Easy, Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock, man. They kind of, they did a smooth crossover type, a maneuver. Like It Takes Two, everybody gravitated to that song. It was like, it just made you want to dance. As soon as you heard that, ladies and gentlemen, you were about to be, you know what I'm saying? It was like the whole trajectory of the song just changed, you know. Um, so it was just a dope era, man. 1988, for me, that was the year I graduated from high school. So it was the song of the summer, man, for me and my peers. We rocked that song. I mean, you can hear that song at any given time. You can hear It Takes Two to Make Things All Right. You know what I'm saying? I want to rock right now. I'm Rob Bass and I came to get down. I'm not internationally known, but I'm known to rock the microphone. But the thing about Rob Bass is like, he wasn't really real lyrical, but he was just lyrical enough to keep you, you know what I mean? And his production was tight. So shout out, you know what I'm saying? Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock, man. A staple in hip hop, man. Salute to them, man. Rest in peace to both the brothers. Like I said, Rodney Bryce was DJ Easy Rock. He passed away in 2014, you know what I'm saying? So, rest in peace to both the brothers. And thank you for your contribution to hip hop, man. It's just being there, man, and being able to witness, who I was there. So, like it was just dope, man. There wasn't no party without that record being played, so it was just dope. And with that being said, man, I'm gonna go ahead, man, and this next joint, and you're hearing it right here on Live Wire Radio. I'm your host, Barz Nice. You know what I'm saying? And I'm about to get into this Rob Bass right here, It Takes Two by Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. Clear on display, clear. Yo, what's up, bro?
Try to stay away from moving around that microphone. Getting a lot of static.
Okay. Who said that? The general? You hear it?
No, I can hear it.
Oh, okay.
I can hear it and everybody's telling me.
That's what I'm telling you. Somebody's telling you. Who told you, Bully?
Yeah, but they ain't me.
But I'm known to rock the microphone, because I get stupid, outrageous. Stay away from me if you're contagious. This song right here, I'm telling you, 1988, the summer of 1988, it was a hot summer, man. Like, everywhere you went, you heard It Takes Two, bro. Hip hop, man, was just, it was crazy. But I want to ask y'all something real quick about we shifting a little bit, right? But we're gonna be going out to like the Midwest, I'm saying Midwest. I'm tripping. We're gonna be going down south, further down south, way down south. We're gonna go to Memphis, right? And we're gonna talk about that when we get back on the radio side. And I'm gonna give y'all a little history lesson on some things that I found out. You know what I'm saying? And it was just dope to find out, man. I like learning, especially about hip hop. And the things that, the authentic things, meaning the things that, or the people that contributed to certain things that we may have done or still do to this day. A lot of times we won't really know the originator of it, because what happens in this grimy business is that a lot of times people will, around you, somebody will end up like, the originator of it will never somebody will steal it. The originator will never get the credit for it, because somebody sees it, oh, it's a good idea, they run with it. You know what I mean? But in this instance, man, we have an individual, man, a godfather of Memphis, Tennessee rap, man. I'm gonna be discussing in a minute, man. His name is DJ Spanish Fly, right? And we're gonna talk about his contribution to hip hop in the Memphis. How he bought it, basically bought that to Memphis. Responsible for some interesting things, man. That you would never really be aware. I mean, it's just, man, some of the information, man, some of the things that when you find out who was responsible for bringing certain elements to the culture, it's amazing. For those of us hip hop junkies, you know, like I tell people all the time, some people will be like, why do y'all, be so fascinated? It's the same way as somebody being fascinated with sports. It's the same way with somebody being fascinated with hunting, fishing, whatever. We love hip hop that way. It's in our heart like that. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop, it did something for us. It changed our lives. Some of us, it saved our lives. Hip hop, in the beginning, people want to say now, oh, hip hop is causing the decadence of society. No, it's not. Hip hop, in the beginning, it talked about the decadence of society, and the people that was causing the decadence of society, and the real culprits, that was causing the decay of society, So, it's like people want to say, oh, rap music is poisoning the society. No, rap music is not poisoning society. It's the people that, poison the rap music. It's the industry, So, and it's people like me, right here on Live Wire Radio, that's why we do what we do on Barz Block. We promote the culture, we promote the legends, and we won't allow them to erase the history of our culture. You know what I'm saying? We can be able to give it back to the radio side. Yep, and yo, just like that, we are back. That was Rob Bass. It takes two to make things all right. I know y'all remember that. You know what I'm saying? If you're listening in, call in 804-495-1417. You know what I'm saying? And tell us your experience, what was going on at that time, when that song came out. 1988, it was released on Profile Records. During that summer, it was a lot going on. I know for me, I graduated that summer, so it was the song of the summer, At a party, like I said, it changed the trajectory of the party. You could feel the energy in the party change when that song came on. So rest in peace, man, to Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock, who passed away 2014. Dope duo, man. They had something for everybody. Hip hop back then was just amazing. Great balance. Like I said, you had music for the dancers, depending on what environment you was in. Like I was saying earlier, music is the nut and bolts of society. It makes you human again. It makes you feel, it makes you laugh, cry, whatever, you know what I mean? Gangster rap, all the different pieces of hip hop, genres of hip hop, of rap music, right? It was developed through the, environment. Look at hip hop itself. Came out the streets of the Bronx. It was gritty. You had buildings with rubble. With particulate matter in the air. It was a lot of crime. It was just, you had kids growing up in an area of destruction. And you got, and for you have to understand that first to understand hip hop. Where hip hop came from. It came from that. Came from the streets, the grittiness, the crud. What do you think the message is about? Broken glass everywhere, people pissing, and they just don't care, it was like, it was born out of that. So then by the 90s, it was like hip hop is the rap itself was like a mantra. Whatever you listening to, and you hearing it over, it becomes a mantra for you. You become that, So back then it was positive. They changed that somewhere along the line. They changed that. We don't talk about that enough. How that was introduced. Me being there, second generation hip hop artist, I know, the positive impact that hip hop had, especially on my generation, because a lot of my generation, you know, we gravitated towards hip hop. We became a part of hip hop. We participated, whether we were break dancers, beatboxing. Like I said, I started off beatboxing, and was part of a hip hop, a break dancing group called the Floor Rockers. You know, so and that was the case for a lot of people. You know, especially young black young black men. You know, Generation X. You know, that was hip hop. You know, that was our thing. But anyway, man, we're gonna get into this next joint, man. This is by Be Ourself. Like I said today, my indie artist highlight is Be Ourself, and this is the Lord Grand's CD. You can find that on all major platforms. The Lord Grand CD. That's Be Ourself, and it's produced by Spade Hands, a Rhythm Shack Spade Haynes, right here in VA. Shout out to my man Spade Haynes. And this one is entitled Lorraine, right here on Live Wire Radio. What up, B? We good? B. You said yeah? What up, y'all? If y'all listening in, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Mike J of Barz and Beat Society. Shout out to Bully Boys. Shout out to my man Quantum Q. You know what I'm saying? Dope show as always, man. Shout out to everybody, man, that's doing their thing, man. I'm Boss Nice, right here on Live Wire Radio. We spinning the block. And my highlight of the day, you know what I'm saying, is Be Ourself. And this is off the CD, Lord Grants. It can be found on all major platforms. Produced by Spade Haynes. Yeah. Hey, yo, B. But yeah, if y'all listening in, man, we're talking about DJ Fly, DJ Spanish Fly, man. Memphis, Tennessee. We're gonna get into that next, man. When we get back on the radio side, we're gonna Huh? Oh, okay. I was wondering if you were still here with me for a minute. All right. What you think about this joint, man? Yeah, this my man Be Ourself from Far Rockaway, man. Word. Shout out to everybody that's listening in, man. I'm your host, Barz Nice, and you are on Barz Block on Live Wire Radio. You know what I'm saying? You can check us out at live.wire804 Facebook, at live.wire Instagram, and LWR80401 at YouTube. If you want to call in and chop it up, man, the lines are open 804-495-1417. Call in. Let's chop it up, man. Let's talk about your experience. 1988. Like I said, for me, I was graduating from high school. So there was the song of the summer, man. Rob Bass, It Takes Two. But we back now, so we're gonna, like I said, the lesson of the day was DJ Spanish Fly. We were talking about earlier, right? Godfather of Memphis, Tennessee rap. Also famous for bringing the subgenre of hip hop, if you would call it that. It's considered a subgenre of hip hop, but it's called funk, and it's spelled Phonk, right? And funk is also was see Space Ghost Perp. You know what I'm saying? He was famous for that. You know what I'm saying? I think he was from Florida, Miami, somewhere like that. Um, but you know, Antonio Kimbrough, aka DJ Spanish Fly, Memphis, Tennessee pioneer of Memphis rap. He was a DJ, producer, writer, rapper, and also, you know, juking. Uh, Juking is, you know, gangster walk. You know, crip walking. You know, they called it. They had many different names for juking. It was, I think, bucking. You know, ticking. You know, it was like different names that they used. Depend like everything else, man. Depending on where you are, you know, everybody make up their own name, their own style, their own. You know, they even like it could be the same dance, but everybody got a different name for the move. You know, so you know you know, we owe that, you know, homage. Pay, you know, I like to, like I said, pay homage to the people, man, that brought these things to us, man. A lot of times we don't be know where we come from, but it was uh, my brother, DJ Spanish Fly, you know what I'm saying, from Memphis, Tennessee, that brought us juking, like I said, taking pop, or you know, chopping, they call it chopping. And it started in the 80s in Memphis, Tennessee, ladies and gentlemen. And rain. And rain. dope energy, dope artist. Y'all need to check her out. She is streaming on all major platforms. That is Double Dutch, and she has a dope project, man. I mean, y'all need to check that out. Richmond's own. You can check out her documentary also that she has out called The Forgotten MC. Sean Nicole Butters, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, y'all need to check that project out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, today my highlight is Be Ourself. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can find him on all major platforms. The CD is Lord Grant's, produced by Spade Haynes, Rhythm Shack Spade. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rhythm Shack Spade. Shout out to Mike J from Barz Beat Society. Sam Hawkins from, Hip Hop Sons and Daughters of Hip Hop. Shout out to everybody, man, that's just doing this, man. It's exciting, man. It's an exciting time, man. I'm glad to do what I do. I love doing what I do. Thank you all for tuning in. If you're tuning in on the live 365.com network, Live Wire Radio. If you want to check us out later on, if you have not listened, you can see us on at live.wire804 Facebook, live.wire804 Instagram, and LWR80401 on the YouTube. But right now, if you want to call in, just chop it up for a second, man. We were talking about Rob Bass, rest in peace, Rob Bass. DJ Easy Rock of the duo, you know what I'm saying? They bought us It Takes Two, Joy and Pain, Get on the Dance Floor. They also had another album in 1989, The Incredible Bass. It was certified gold. Now, It Takes Two was certified platinum, but Incredible Bass, number 50 on the Billboard 200, and number 20 on the top R&B hip hop albums. That was November the 17th, 1989. It Takes Two was 1988. So, it was, like I said, dope impact. One of the most influential dance songs of the 80s. The 80s it was the golden era, man. You can't, Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick the Show. Go back to 84, like I said, King Charlie Prince and Rockmaster Scott, and I interviewed him last week. You had Rockmaster Scott in the Dynamic 3. That whole era, man, the Mastodon Committee, Funk Box, that was a dope era in hip hop, man. We were dancing, we were having fun, so it was just dope. You had to be there. I'll tell you, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, we spinning the block, man, and we gonna wrap it up, man. We're getting here to the end here, so we're gonna get into this next joint, man. This is Glock Boy. Like I said, highlighting my artist of the show is my man Be Ourself. This is Lord Grant's. The CD is on all major platforms, produced by Spade Haynes. So this next joint is Glock Boy. Like I said, right here on Live Wire Radio, I'm your host, Barz Nice the General. Dutch project. Like I said, newly released. You can find it on all major platforms. Richmond's own, right here from Highland Park. Dope project, man. I mean, she embodies hip hop. Um, you know, our highlight of the day, Be Ourself, produced by Spade Haynes off the Lord Grand CD, man. Dope project, brother. I'm listening to him, today, like I said, we had Lorraine and Food Stamp Budget. Last week we played I Met My Father at the Trap House. Dope project, man. Y'all gotta check it out. It's on all major platforms. That's Be Ourself, right? Produced by Spade Haynes. This is the Lord Grand CD. It's dope, man. That's our indie artist highlight of the day, man. Right here on Live Wire Radio. I'm your host, Barz Nice, and we are on Barz Block. It's been a dope spin today, man. Like I said, a somber day, but we celebrated, a legend, a staple in hip hop. Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. He passed away in 2014, but of course we just lost Rob Bass. We were just discussing, how they made a major impact on the dance scene in the 80s, late 1988, It Takes Two, Joy and Pain, Get on the Dance Floor. And in 1989, they came out with The Incredible Bass. It was certified gold. It Takes Two was certified platinum. Just a staple in hip hop, man. Dope, man. It bought a lot, man. It was just one of those albums that gave something it had something for everybody. So just dope, man. Like I said, Rob Bass, man, his style was just there. He wasn't real lyrical, but it was just enough, man, to just keep you, it was like, you was grooving, man. It Takes Two, change the trajectory of the party, bro. You go to the party, you know what I'm saying? Like that song come on, and the party was live, you know what I mean? Like everybody, like I said, that joint made a girl put the coochie on, you know what I'm saying? Girl be shaking it, you know what I mean? Like it was crazy. But yeah, man, it's been a pleasure, man. As always, I'm your host, Barz Nice the General, and you've been riding the block. We've been spinning the block, man. You've been in the car with your homeboy. I appreciate it, man. For tuning in, man. We're gonna continue to keep bringing you the official vetted info. Giving you that history, the real, authentic history. If we wasn't there, we're gonna talk to the people that was there. We're gonna give it to you from the people who was there. And just give you the real deal. It ain't gonna be no secondhand. I heard. It's always gonna be from the source, right here on Barz Block. I'm your man, Barz Nice. Thank you for tuning in. We're about to get into this next joint, also by yours truly. This one is produced by Bully Boy, right? We produced this probably. Never mind. But anyway, this is produced by Bully Boy. It's called Barz Nice on This Bullshit.
Barz Nice back on his bullshit. The bull spit like a 4/5. Many words, many ways, many styles. Kill him quick. Yeah, nigga, take this full clip. Barz Nice back on his bullshit. The bull spit like a 4/5. Many words, many ways, many styles. Kill him quick. Yeah, nigga, take this full clip. It feels good to have so many styles to choose from. I might fuck this style and choose a new one. Cause y'all rappers suck, I'm stupid dumb. I got so many flavors to save us from. Come get some, yeah. All you clout chasing bastards. Only fight pistol asses. I break whole niggas down in the fractures. Your fractures. Taking the pieces from the blast, from the past spit. Call Benny Smith, tell him bring some caskets. Alphabet junkie, master the craft of the wordsmith. Ain't no way on them for me to put the beef.